Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Immigration Live with Lee. I'm your host, Lee Marvin. I've been practicing immigration law for over a decade here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I've been an attorney for over 20 years. So some things are always the same, some things change all the time. Immigration changes all the time. It's never really the same. But we've got very good news, which is this new Pro in Place program. So I'm here tonight to answer questions about this and many other immigration related matters. All you have to do is post your comments in the comment section, um, in the chat section, um, so that I can answer your questions. So, as I told you, I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but I would love for you to tell me where you're joining me from tonight. Tonight, what is tonight? August 19th, 2024. And tonight we're going to talk about a lot of things. I got a bunch of questions on deck. I've got this Pro in Place program that's a big thing. Everybody's wondering about it. And I'm here to answer questions, both specific and very, very general and vague. Why do I say that? Because the government hasn't really provided a whole lot of information that's useful for anyone to do this program, right? I mean, God bless the immigration and President Biden for coming out with this because it in concept, it's an amazing, incredible program. The question is whether it will be as easy for people to take advantage of as the government wants. Okay. So basically, this Pro in Place, everybody already knows about it. If you're watching social media for me and many other immigration attorneys like me, you are all about seeing that you have to have been in the country for 10 years without legal status. You enter illegally, right? We're not supposed to say that, but that's what it is. You enter without authorization, and then you're here for 10 years before you can take advantage of this program. You're married to a US citizen, not a legal permanent resident. You're married to a US citizen. Um, your stepkids can benefit from this program. So even though the parent is not a US citizen, they're the step parent. They are able to take advantage of this program. It's an amazing concept, and I'm very excited about it. So the caution that I'm giving you is that you gotta make sure you do it the right way, okay? Because immigration, as we move forward to this process, we're discovering a lot of things that I didn't really expect to find, right? With this new program. So I'm prepared to deal with it because I've been doing it for, over a decade. But I will say, don't squander this opportunity. File right away and get help to do it because the government, they don't care if you succeed or fail. They care if the PR is out there and says that there's this program that was created by this administration that helps all these people. Do they really care if it's successful? I don't know. I'm a little bit skeptical, okay? But I will say that this is designed in a very strange way, and I'm trying to be optimistic about it, which is why I'm moving forward with many of my clients, and we're going to hit the ground running. We're going to do it upright. But the caution for everybody listening is to make sure you don't drop your guard. Make sure you don't squander this opportunity by not doing it the right way, because there's going to be a lot of mistakes that immigration is going to go through with this process. There's a lot of things that they're going to tweak, and there's a lot of denials. There's a lot of requests for evidence they're going to issue. You're gonna want to make sure that you're doing it the right way, okay? So that's the only thing I can say with this. Absolutely take advantage of it and do it quickly because we don't know how long it's going to be here, okay? We know elections coming up. We don't know if this program is going to be around. We don't know who's going to be president, of course. This program might not be around, so take advantage of it while it exists, okay? So that's my big advice regarding the Pro in Place program. What is the Pro in Place? Pro in Place means the government paroles you, gives you legal permission to be inside the United States. And more than that, to change your status inside the United States from a non-immigrant to an immigrant. That's what adjustment of status means. So it means you are in the United States. You don't have to leave the country to get a green card. This is major. The only other thing that exists like that is the military Pro in Place, where you can benefit from it. You don't have to leave the country as a parent or a spouse or a child. You don't have to leave if you get this parole in place. The same thing with this new parole in place for spouses of U.S. citizens or stepkids of U.S. citizens. Okay, so it's an amazing program that will allow you to do all sorts of things. Get a green card. Um, Even if you don't go through the green card process, you can get a work permit. There's a lot of very interesting things that this is designed to help people who otherwise have nothing besides the waiver process, which is a great process, right? The waiver process, it's got a bad rap. Why? Because it takes 2 to 3 years to get a decision from the government. Okay. So, but it's an amazing process in its own right to be able to fix your back your past problems by getting a waiver is a very big deal. It's very powerful. Lots of clients have done it. So if you have questions about how these work together, you can ask me now in the comment section, or um, I can put my information here in case you wanted to reach out to me and book a time to talk to me. Okay. And I'm going to do that right here. Okay. Um, do, do, do. Here it is. Here's my link, and I will get to some of the questions and people who are talking to me here. But I want to say thank you for joining me again this Monday night, um, August 19th. Okay, please post your questions in the comment section because that is why you're here. I know you love hearing about immigration, but isn't it much better if they're your questions being answered? Okay, so welcome everyone. Tons of people on our Instagram pro platform, YouTube, Facebook. So thank you for joining us, and don't forget to post your questions. Okay. Okay. So let me go to the first question I saw, and again, let's see. First of all, before I get to the questions, I want to find out who has put their location information. Okay. Where are you joining us from? We get people from all over the planet, which is awesome. Last month we had people from Saudi Arabia, people from, I believe it was Ghana. We have people from the Philippines. So where are you joining us tonight? We have people from Michigan. We have people from California and Texas. But tonight I want to see who you are and where you're joining us from. Okay, Michigan. Well, thank you. Um, from Michigan. Where in Michigan are you from? And it's sometimes hard to read these names, right? You know who you are. Gats in Zevenson. Sorry about that. I butchered that. Um, but I'd love to know where in Michigan you're from. It doesn't truly matter. It's just I'm a Michigan boy, so I like to know where in Michigan. That being said, let me go to the first question I saw earlier. Okay, so this is one of our friends from the Philippines joining us. Okay. Hi, sir. Good morning here in the Philippines. My party date is November 21st of 2013, but until now, no updates from the U.S. Embassy here in Manila and no movement on the visa bulletin. I'm waiting for an interview. I know you are, Joselito. I know you are, and my heart goes out to you and everybody like you, waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. It's relentless, the wait time. And the visa bulletin, if you watch my video, which you probably did, if you watch my YouTube video where I did the visa bulletin recently, it was disappointing because there was one change from last month. It was a change, it was a positive change, but it was only by 7 days. It only changed by 7 days. It was for people in Mexico. I forget what the classification, the family relationship was, but it was only a 7 day improvement. Everything else is running extremely slow, and man, oh man, people are not happy with how slow things are going. So hang in there, Joselito. Um, and honestly, I wish I had better advice than that. But that's the name of the game at this point in time. So unfortunately, it really is the waiting game yet again. Some months are good, other months are horrible, like last month. Okay, well, not horrible because there was no regression, meaning people didn't have to wait longer than they did last month, but it's usually not positive when there's no changes, but one that was 7 days. Okay. That being said, Um, let's see here. One second. Let me go over here to our friends on Instagram. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay, Grand Rapids. Thank you for joining us from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Near and dear to my heart. You may see that the sun looks the same for you as it does for me because I'm in the Grand Rapids area anyway. Okay, so the question you have is, can you still swear for citizenship if you're still paying fees for a DUI case? Or you have to finish that first. Um, so the thing is with citizenship and good moral character, okay? DUI doesn't necessarily mean that you are forbidden from being able to show that you have good moral character. But typically, if if you're just paying the fees, that's different than if you have probation. Immigration is very touchy about probation. They typically say if you are still on probation, you do not have the standing to be able to ask for naturalization or to be able to show that you have good moral character. Okay, it's just how they do it. And honestly, it's only been the last few years that they've been so harsh with that. Um, so having a DUI case and paying restitution might not be a problem, but if you're currently having probation, then they will not approve your request for naturalization. Okay, so hang in there. Um, I would kind of wait until you're done with that. There's things you can do when you apply to help your case, but if you have probation, they're not going to let you move forward. They're not going to approve your citizenship request. Okay. Okay. So what is SJIS? Um, SJIS is Special Juvenile Immigration or Immigrant Status. Okay. So um, that typically is for somebody who enters the United States as a minor, and you don't have any parent here to take care of you. So often, what immigration does is provides you. It's an amazing program. You have the ability to request this special status because you don't have your parents around to help you through living in the United States. So that special juvenile immigrant status allows you to qualify for protection, basically freedom from deportation for a short period of time, work permit, and puts you on the path to a green card. So special juvenile immigration status is a path to a green card, which is a path to citizenship. So that's what that is. Um, it's a very complicated process, meaning there's two different parts to it. There's the immigration side, and then there's the local court, where you have to go through the local court system. Okay, it's a pretty complicated process. Okay, so let me go. Other questions here. Okay, we have Krish Patel. Hello, Krish. Join us from YouTube. Um, I-129F June case processing. So the 129F June case processing. Okay. I would invite you, since you're joining us from YouTube, go to my channel and look up my video. So the 129F, okay. Um, so that is an employment-based process, okay. I do family-based, okay. So 129F, I don't know what the processing times are for that, okay, because I do family-based, not um, employment-based. I'm sorry for that, but that's what it is, okay. Um, we have Ishmael. I am one of your existing clients. Thank you, sir. From Michigan, U.S. citizen. I applied for my wife. Processing time supposed to be 14 and a half months. It just passed, and what should be next? Okay, Ishmael. Um, so the 14 and a half months, I don't know if that was based on the government posting processing times, if it has been past like a point in time in the past where you looked into it and they said it was going to take 14 and a half months, and now it's been 14 and a half months. These things change all the time. So processing times change constantly. What do I mean by constantly? weekly. Okay. So I don't know if you do need to touch base with me directly, we can look into your case for you. Obviously, I can't do it right now. Um, but if you're one of my existing clients, then I'd be happy to help look into this for you and find out what's going on. So reach out, give us a call so that we can help you figure out what's going on with this. It's driving me crazy with all these processing times, but I'm used to it. It is the nature of the beast, the name of the game. Okay. Um, um, Again, Joselito, is it possible that you have to wait longer? Yeah, that typically is what has been happening with, well, I mean, it happens with every president. It's not a Biden thing. It's not a Trump thing. It wasn't even an Obama thing. It's just a government thing. Okay, so the answer is yes. It will very likely take longer. I will say that these new initiatives like this Pro in Place program, what does that do? Incredible things for people that qualify for it. What does it do for everyone else? Slows down everything. It's just how it works. There's only so many agents, bureaucrats within the government of immigration that processes things. So there's only so many humans that can process these things. And the more initiatives that the administration puts out there, the longer it takes for immigration to process things because there's humans that actually do the work. And I know a lot of people like to beat up on immigration. And, I do from time to time, but really they have a horribly impossible job, especially if you look at the politics of the last 5 to 6 years. Things have been crazy. I would not want to be an agent for immigration because there have been so many changes. These guys have been up against the ropes, people beating the crap out of them because they don't get what they want. And these agents are the ones who are trying to process stuff. It's not their fault. Sometimes, I mean, when I complain about the government, it's because the stuff that they send back to me is such absolute garbage that is unconscionable, right? But as far as processing times, it is tough because they do have a lot of work. And this new Pro in Place program, and this is why 2 months ago I started talking about this and telling people you gotta get ready, you gotta file, because the second this opens up, there's gonna be a flood of people doing it, and you're gonna be behind the 8 ball waiting for the government to process things. Okay, so move on to the next question here. Um, Again, thank you for everyone joining us. Um, okay. Let's see. Nixon John, it's been 116 days since USCIS received my requests for evidence. You said, yeah, FRE, you mean RFE, for medical for the 485. What's the timeline? 116 days? It's not a timeline I've ever had to deal with. So why it's taking them 116 days? I mean, that's going on, that's over 3 months. That's ridiculous, right? They usually tell you that you have, I mean, what? You have 30 days to respond or 87 days, depending on the agent. You've got to respond. They never tell you how quickly they're going to respond. But I will tell you, I've never had a client that had to wait that long. It could be, again, immigration, when they see that somebody does their own stuff, what do? As just a human? Um, this is probably going to be garbage. I'm not going to review this. I'm going to review the stack of attorney filings I have over here because I know that they've done a lot of these and it's going to be easier for me. That's just human nature, right? So I say that's why I'm always telling people, okay, it's not just that I can get the job done quickly, it's that I can avoid problems that most people don't know about because this isn't what they do. So I will say that, um, one second. I will say that, it is possible that this is gonna take longer because things constantly change, right? So Nixon, yes, that is not normal. It is not normal. I would reach out to immigration, I would contact them directly, and I would say, "Hey, what's going on? This is way too long," okay? Um, let's see here. We've got Ziza. Please, I don't understand why my I-130 says 13 months and my I-495 2 months. My case is actively reviewed right after biometrics. Can you explain? So let me try to figure out what you're asking me here. Okay. Um, 2 months, my case is actively reviewed. So the 485 is what you mean, not 495. So that is the request for green card, right? So why does it take 2 months or longer? Because there's a lot of information that has to be reviewed. So 2 months isn't that long, to be honest with you, Ziza. Um, it's not that long. Okay, so is being actively reviewed right after biometrics. That's typically what happens. They do biometrics. What is biometrics for? Background check. Immigration is moving along. It's the next stage in the process where they make sure that you haven't violated any criminal laws and there's no reason for them to deny your request. Um, Actively reviewed right up. So again, I don't know where that time frame came. The 2 months. Is it right after the biometrics or is that within the biometrics? I don't know, but I do know that 2 months for 85 filing, taking 2 months is not long, right? It can take up to a year for your 485 to go through and have the interview scheduled. Okay, so hang in there. Um, okay, so here we go. 1 second. Um, so Ronald, okay, Ronald D, you're in Florida. Thank you for joining us from Florida. I came in from Haiti in September of 17 under the Obama program, Family Reunification Parole. I don't think that was a Obama program, but it doesn't matter. Family Reunification Parole. My category is F3, and my priority date is June of 2010. Okay. So, Ronald, I'm sure there's a question there. It's not evident from reading this. It probably is. Why is it taking so long? Right? I don't know. 2017. I don't know what the information is telling you. The F3. Um, I just don't know what they're telling you in your program. So maybe go to your online profile. Maybe they have more information. I can't tell from your question here what you really are asking me. So I will stand by if you have more information. Otherwise, I'll keep driving on here. Um, Valeria, I'm a 21-year-old applying for parents for the green card. They have to show tax returns, but he has been declared as independent on parent tax papers. How can we do it? Let me see again. Let me try to decipher this, Valeria. A 21-year-old is applying for the parents for the green card process, has to show tax returns, but he has been declared as dependent. Oh, I'm sorry, misread that. Dependent on parents. Um, well, in cases like this, Valeria, typically what happens if a sponsor doesn't have the financial means to sponsor their parents based on their tax returns, okay, then you got to find a co-sponsor, okay? Co-sponsors, I tell you what, I don't know many clients that I have that don't have to get a co-sponsor, okay? So co-sponsor again it's another individual, whether it's a family member, friend, it doesn't matter really who it is. They prefer family members, but it's a family member that says, hey, I'm going to help you with this process because you don't quite make the money. So I'm going to show you my finances and I'm going to sign the application in the agreement with the government saying that I will support this family. Okay. So that's the answer to your question, Valeria. Okay. Is if the person's a dependent, um, then they might have to get a co sponsor. Okay. Um, so, Ronald, can I apply for adjustment status now? Okay. So Ronald, so it depends on again, I don't know from what you wrote in here. I don't know. There let's see. Let me go back up here and look again. Um where were you? Okay. I I would I would have you go and look at the current processing times. Um if you're in the United States, that means that you got to look not necessarily at the visa bulletin, but you entered from Haiti, so you got to look at the general world um, processing times to see if you're able to finally move forward or not. Um, so it's hard to answer with the information I'm getting here. Maybe click the link that I posted above for more direct questions and answers about your process. I'm just not able to answer the entire question here, and I apologize for that. Um, Tennessee, Mr. M from Tennessee. I love Tennessee, especially Memphis and Graceland, because I'm a huge Elvis fan. A comment over a question. Okay. Comment. My esposa, my wife, is an amazing asset to my business. Very sincere and helpful. God bless you for that. I agree with you. I can't say that all the time because I'm biased, but thank you kindly for that, Mr. M. Um, she makes me a better person. So thank you kindly for that. That's very, very nice of you to say. Um, let's see here. Let me go back over here, and then I'm going to get to some of the questions I prepared from earlier clients. Okay, a lot of people join us from Instagram. Let me see who we have here. Do 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 do. Um, I'm 19. I came here as a student, but I can't go back to my country because I'm gay. Do you guys deal with these cases? So, Mark, so if you have a problem where your country isn't supportive or open to your rights, um, and you're in the United States, then asylum is typically the option for you if you don't have the right to move forward. If you're not married to a US citizen or legal permanent resident, then asylum is the way you do it. I've had many asylum clients for being homosexual. Absolutely is allowed in the United States. Okay, so you can click that link if you want to ask me about that. I've done it many, many times. Okay. Um, okay, so yeah, so I'm looking through these questions here. Um, do 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 do. Um, okay, our friend from Grand Rapids, Michigan, received in the mail an oath ceremony um, scheduling for the third time. They keep canceling it the day before the ceremony. That's no bueno. That's horrible. Absolutely horrible. There's nothing you can do about it. You can call them up and say, "What is going on here? Why do you keep canceling this? What is going on here?" That's weird. I've never heard that. I've never had it happen to any of my clients. Um, I can't account for why that would be happening. Okay. Um, how frustrating must that be? I mean, maybe it's a um, political thing, the elections. I don't know. I can't understand why that would be happening for you, and I'm really sorry to hear that. Okay, you can always reach out to immigration. You can call them up and say, "Hey, what's going on here? Why do you guys keep doing this?" You're not going to get an answer, but you might get lucky. Okay. Um, okay. I applied for a green card December 2023. I'm still waiting. And it seems like people have applied in 2024 and they're getting approved really fast. And my issue is the same processing time. It keeps changing. It was 2 months for traveling. Okay. So again, processing times do change. Sometimes for the bad, sometimes for the good, mostly for the bad. Um, so yeah, I will say everything comes down to the family relationship. When you file, obviously, you getting people that have filed in 24 and they're already getting processed. That very well could be the quality of the filing. Okay. Because again, I said before, if immigration sees a filing come through and they think that it looks messy, sloppy, it looks like it's going to take more work, they're probably going to move to the next thing and put it in a pile and they'll get back to it later. Um, it doesn't seem right because, again, it's not first in, first out. It's first in, and then immigration will get to it when they get to it. Okay. So it's frustrating, and I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Um, okay. Um, okay, let me see who else is asking questions here. Um, okay. Um, okay, so I'm looking at Estelita. Um, Married for 13 years to my American citizen. My husband just passed away this year. Sorry to hear that. I'm very sorry to hear that. I want to apply for US citizenship. How long is the paper to process? Okay. So, Estelita, married for 13 years. So, the big question is in those 13 years, what was done? Did your husband start the green card process for you? Because unless you have the green card process moving forward, you can't become a US citizen. You got to become a legal permanent resident first. So the big question is what happened? Did your husband sponsor you for a green card? It might seem like a no-brainer, but I've had clients that have never done that, right? They never knew that they were supposed to. People think this stuff is a lot easier than it actually is. They think that because they married a US citizen, they can move forward. They're automatically citizens. I mean, you'd be blown away by how many people are shocked when they find out that it is way, way, way more difficult than that. Okay. I admit in my very early days, when I did this process for my wife, I was like, are you kidding me? My wife doesn't automatically have this, that, or the other. No, it's very complicated. So if your husband didn't file papers for you, you might not be able to move forward ever. Okay. So I will say that my link is above. You should reach out to me because I need to help you analyze this situation because it is possible, depending on where you are in that process, if the process was started, that you can self petition, but the clock is ticking. Because if your husband died, depends if he filed for you or not, you could potentially self petition for yourself, even if he's no longer living. And technically, immigration will end the process because your sponsor is no longer living. Check out my link, contact me. This is a very technical area of immigration law. It is possible. Okay, I've done it before. So check me out, okay? Let's see here. How long is the process for K1 visa if she's 18 years old? Her age doesn't matter. K1 fiance visa, I found that it takes about 2 years, maybe a little less. It really depends on how long you've been together. It depends on the amazing things you can show immigration to dazzle them, to want to approve you quickly. But I would say plan on 2 months, and you won't be disappointed if it takes, sorry, 2 years, not 2 months. It takes 2 years maximum to get this. Okay, sometimes it's quicker. Um, okay, so let's see. Okay, I wanted to share something with you guys. Okay. Okay, 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. I'm doing multiple things here. I wanted to share this link. Um, this is the this for the Pro in Place. This goes back to the new Pro in Place program. Okay. We have been preparing a lot of things to help people move forward with this Epic Pro in Place program. I just put the link on there. We've got information that helps people move forward. It's a questionnaire to help people figure out whether they are eligible for the Pro in Place program. That's what that link was right there. So please check it out. It does a link to my webpage and information, tons of information on there. So check it out. Okay, check that out. And let me go back to some of the questions that were up here. Um, okay, so that was the K1 visa question answered. Okay, I wanted to bring my husband to the United States. He lives in South Africa. How could I apply for him? I'm a citizen. So that is easy if you know how to do it. So as a US citizen, you absolutely can sponsor your husband no matter where he is. Okay, the process, um, being married to a US citizen, there's technically no wait time to get a visa. Okay, there's no waiting for a visa. It's just waiting for the government to process the request. I do it all the time. reach out to me. Um, here's here's the link if you want to reach out to me so I can help you with this. It's one of the main things I do is green card processes for spouses of U.S. citizens. Check it out. It really, if he's in South Africa, um, I would say that it probably is a year and a half, possibly 2 years. That's kind of how things are rolling these days. Check it out. If you need more information, you can reach out directly to me, and I would love to help you with this process. Okay. Um, okay. Let's see here. Holy cow! I didn't. I just looked at the time. We're beyond our time, but I want a quick look to see if there's anything that I could quickly answer, so you don't have to wait for next week. Okay. Um, can I open a business? Okay, that's something I can't answer at this point in time. But questions about opening businesses, stuff like that, click the link so you can schedule a consultation. I can talk to you about that. Can I become a U.S. citizen if I had one felony? Depends on what the felony was. To be honest with you, it absolutely depends on what felony it was. Not all felonies are created equal. Okay, so a lot more information is going to be needed to analyze your situation. Um, I would say that thank you kindly for everyone who joined us tonight. Um, okay. So again, so many great questions. I didn't even get to the questions that I had available. Um, the people asked me earlier today to get to, and I apologize I didn't get to them. Next Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is Detroit time, we're going to do this again. Okay. So a lot will happen in a week with this Pro in Place program. The government's gonna be tweaking things. There's gonna be a lot of trips and falls with this program. So wait till next week, and I will give you more up to date information about it. If you need it, schedule a time with me. I have the link up there for you to do that. But tune in next week for even more amazing immigration information. Um, so 8 o'clock next week, Eastern Standard Time. Please check us out. Um, and if you have questions in the meantime, you can click the link. Check out my YouTube channel. All these things are out there for you guys. Thank you for joining us. And I trust that you will have a wonderful night.